are now tuned in to Kons podcast.
You hate me, don't you?
In the David case, now new evidence has arrived. You know what I'm saying? They have released a video. The video is from definitely running from people. I don't know. It seemed like she was definitely trying to hide her face, but this is when she was reported missing. You know what I'm saying? Check this clip. They have been deferred because they waiting on toxicology reports on the autopsy. You know what I'm saying? They trying to confirm whether this was. So Diddy is now back in court. You know what I'm saying? Diddy is now back in court. He is trying to throw the convictions, the little two convictions, be locked up on Friday is when when the final conviction comes, or he could be going back to jail for a very long time and remaining in there. Yo, what's happening? What's going on? It's Kons podcast, you know what I mean? Episode 310 today, you know what I'm saying? Episode 310. And I hope all y'all doing good on this fine Tuesday, on this good Taco Tuesday, Titty Tuesday, whatever it is that you want to call this Tuesday, you know what I mean? It's a good Tuesday. It's about 75. It's going to be about 75, 76 all day out here, you know what I mean, out here in Sacramento, California, you know what I mean? But yeah, I hope all y'all is doing cool though, you know what I'm saying? In case y'all was wondering, in case you just now subscribed, you feel me? This is where we go over the headlines, go over the news, go over what's been happening, go over what's been in your face whenever you first logged on to the internet, whether your homepage was MSNBC, Yahoo News, Headline News, Hip Hop DX, whatever it is, whatever one of them headlines is, I'm probably touching on one of them right here on Kons Podcast, you know what I mean? But thank you for tuning in, though. You know what I'm saying? Quick little recap of the last episode. You know what I'm saying? The last episode, on episode 309, to let you know that Ice Cube's tour bus got blown up. People was mistaking it for an ice bus. You know what I'm saying? The ice people that been going around tearing apart families. They had blown it up, set it afire. Also let you know about 3-1 Atlas is on its way, coming, and it said it weighs about 33 billion pounds. You know what I'm saying? Said it had picked up speed. It's going to be coming over Mars pretty soon. Also let you know that Rihanna gave birth to a new baby girl named Rocky Irish Mayers. You know what I'm saying? That was last episode 309. Quick little recap of that. You know what I mean? For today's episode, I got some quick little updates for you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to update on that David case. You know what I'm saying? Got an update on that. We're going to update on that. Got a couple of clips on that. You know what I'm saying? And also got some updates on Diddy. You know what I'm saying? The new Diddy case. Diddy's been back in court. I got updates on that. Cassie and her mom has wrote a letter to the judge. You know what I mean? And I got full letter clips on that. You know what I'm saying? So today is going to be kind of clip heavy. You know what I mean? It's going to be definitely clip heavy. I got a lot of clips in these two subjects. You know what I mean? So the first up, though, we're going to touch on this David case. You know what I'm saying? The D4vd to do with the Celeste, the body that was in the front trunk of the Tesla. You know what I mean? We're going to touch on that first. You know what I'm saying? So in the David case, you know what I mean? New evidence has arrived. You know what I'm saying? They have released a video. The video is from August 24th, 2025. You know what I'm saying? The video is from there. This was a clip of her. She was seen running down the street. This is in her neighborhood and definitely running from people. I don't know. It seemed like she was definitely trying to hide her face, but this is when she was reported missing. You know what I'm saying? Check this clip out. This is her running down the street in her neighborhood. Check it out.
hate me, don't
They
you?
had, as you seen, that was her in the clip running. You know what I mean? Looked like she was running from something or just running to try to get away. You know what I mean? She had ran away from home a few times, they had said. You know what I'm saying? And also, this clip of her arguing with the neighbors. You know what I mean? She was arguing with the neighbors, and I guess she was using the word. And, you know what I mean? They were saying, why you keep calling us that? We're not black. You know what I mean? We Southsiders. You know what I'm saying? So, in this clip, you're about to see this is her arguing with some neighbors that TMZ have released. Check this clip out.
Talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk?
I ain't gonna let you talk.
No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping?
I ain't tripping.
Nah, you tripping. How about you ain't tripping? You gonna let a woman talk? Alright, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
Why are you over here? Again.
Little house, you don't even got a house.
Hey, bro.
You talk to
Yeah, ain't nobody black right here, homie. We're Southsiders right here, homie. We're Southsiders here. Get it right, homegirl. Shut up with your black talking. Shut up. Keep talking like you're black, girl, with your black talking.
No!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah. Ain't nobody black right here. What are you talking about? I said we're not black over here. Why you keep calling us? You keep saying this. We're not black. Hey, let it go. Go back to your house.
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 You ain't gonna do nothing, bro. What you gonna do? You ain't no gangster. You ain't nothing, homie. What you are? What you are but a little girl? What you but a little girl? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I don't go home.
You need to go home. Seriously.
I'm not Mexican. I'm Salvador and you tripping.
Oh my god.
Not you tripping. Move the out of here.
You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. You better get over there. Get your over there, little girl.
I'm over here, stupid.
Go over there, little girl. You ain't gonna do shit. Go. Go. What are you gonna do, bro?
Don't call her dad, babe.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, little girl?
You know what I'm saying? That was in a clip of her. You can hear her arguing with the neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, was using racial stuff, using the N-word. I guess she was throwing the N-word at him. You know what I mean? You could heard him say, we not even black, we Southsiders. You know what I'm saying? And also, the autopsy has confirmed that she was not pregnant at the time. You know what I mean? She was not pregnant. She had been pregnant, they said, in the past year. You know what I mean? So she was not pregnant. So these next little clips you're about to see is just new clips and new information on this David case and where they are at with it. They said they have been deferred because they're waiting on toxicology reports on the autopsy. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to confirm whether this was an accident, this was unaliving of herself, somebody unalived her, somebody definitely brought her to the car, they said. You know what I mean? So these next little clips you're about to see is just clips on this case and updates on this situation with David and this Tesla and Celeste Hernandez. Check these clips out.
TMZ has just obtained Celeste Rivas' death certificate. The cause of death is being deferred as LAPD and LA County medical examiners investigate her death. The certificate says that Celeste was found on September 8, 2025 in a vehicle. It also states that an autopsy was performed, but we have been told that the medical examiner is awaiting the toxicology reports. According to the certificate, she was not pregnant and had not been pregnant in the last year. After LAPD Captain Scott M. Williams spoke with people, we now know that it was likely that Celeste's body was in the car for weeks before it was discovered. And until a cause of death is determined, no arrests can be made. We will continue to update you as we know more.
More information coming out about Celeste Hernandez and David. Earlier today, the LAPD chief talked to people, and now the LAPD chief is talking to TMZ, who released new information about Celeste Hernandez. TMZ got their hands on the death certificate, which proves that Celeste was not pregnant, nor had she been pregnant in the last year. And as of right now, the certificate says the autopsy was performed, but they are waiting on toxicology reports to come back. The LAPD captain told TMZ that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death investigation is complicated, and one of the key undetermined factors is establishing her cause of death. He went on to say that they are working with the LA County medical examiner to establish Celeste's cause of death, and this is critical because up until now, it hasn't been clearly established whether she died from foul play or other causes. And this is the same thing that this LAPD chief told People magazine earlier today. He said that he is not sure at this this point if this is an unaliving case or if this was an accident or natural causes and then somebody placing her body in the front of David's Tesla. And these are completely two different charges. So I think this is why the LAPD are being so tight-lipped about this whole entire situation and also not letting a lot out. Because I don't think that they want to move too soon, because let's say they go and they arrest somebody for an unaliving case and then it comes out from the coroner that some accident or something like this happened and then they just placed her in the trunk, then that would be a whole different charge and it could potentially mess up the case. Now the LAPD chief also told TMZ that investigators are processing the Tesla for evidence, and this includes possible digital and video evidence. TMZ asked the chief if Tesla cameras captured the person or persons who put Celeste's body in the trunk, but he would only repeat Robbery Homicide Division is still processing all Tesla evidence. Chief also said the LAPD is investigating a reported relationship between Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David. But I found this part very interesting. The captain made it clear at this point they are not pursuing a suspect or a person of interest at this stage of the investigation. And this is a big deal. This means right now they are not going after anybody for what happened to Celeste Hernandez. But I think the reason why they're not going after a suspect or at least a person of interest right now is because they are unsure whether this is an actual unaliving case or whether this was an accident or something that happened and then somebody put her in the front of David's Tesla. Sadly, none of this is probably going to be known until the results come back from Celeste's autopsy. And yes, both of these situations are highly illegal and absolutely horrific that somebody would even do this point blank period, but they are two separate charges. And like I said, if the police act too soon, it could mess up the whole entire thing. They basically only have one shot at this. I think it's going to be a while, like I said, until we actually see any big movement on Celeste's case. Unless a big piece of evidence comes out. And with this case, we honestly truly never know. And now we have confirmed information that Celeste was never pregnant, and also we know that the coroner now is waiting on toxicology reports. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Christie famously said, "One coincidence is just a coincidence. Two coincidences are a clue, and three coincidences are proof." So let's talk about the coincidences in the case of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, found dead in the trunk of singer David's abandoned Tesla. Her mother confirms that she had a boyfriend named David. David wrote an unreleased song titled Celeste. Both David and Celeste have a tattoo, same exact one, of the word shh on their right index fingers. Now, although David lived in Los Angeles, there is a photo of him less than a half a mile from the home that Celeste ran away from. And in his music video for his song One More Dance, which was released just in February, David is dragging a body and hiding it in a trunk. So are all those coincidences a proof, as Agatha Christie calls it? Well, TMZ is reporting that friends of David's have confirmed to them that David and Celeste were in fact in a romantic relationship. And these friends also say to TMZ that they thought that she was 19. Nope. How about 14? She was 14 when she was killed. That is a minor child. And it's possible that she met David when she was even younger than that, possibly 12 or 13. Now, just based on that information alone, David Burke better hire a very good lawyer. And if he killed Celeste Rivas Hernandez, or if he hid her dead body in his Tesla, he better pray that Johnny Cochran and F. Lee Bailey come back from the dead, because he is gonna need them. That's my opening statement. Let me know if you like it. Right now, it's time for your daily
Just
doc.
new updates in the clips. A bunch of clips letting you know on the new updates on that case. Yo, excuse me. Let me interrupt this episode. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't hit that subscribe button, now is your time to do that. In the middle of this explosive, dope content that I'm bringing you. You know what I'm saying? Now's your time to hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button, comment on whatever you like, whatever you want to comment on. Now's your time to go ahead and do that if you ain't done it already. You know what I'm saying? But definitely hit that subscribe button and definitely tell somebody else to hit that subscribe button too. You know what I'm saying? It's Kons Podcast. Let's get back to the episode. So Diddy is now back in court. You know what I'm saying? Diddy is now back in court. He is trying to throw the convictions, the little 2 convictions that they convicted him of. He's trying to contest to get them thrown out. But a lot of people was going against this, especially Cassie and her mom. They definitely wanted him to get 11 years. You know what I'm saying? Being that they said she was tormented and tortured for 11 of those years. So they pushing for him to get 11 years, or he can get time served. I think they pushing for like 14 months or something like that, which he would have done majority of that already. So he could either be locked up on Friday is when the final conviction comes, or he can be going back to jail for a very long time and remaining in there for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? So these next little clips you're about to see is very clip heavy. Like I said, it's clip heavy. I only did these 2 topics because there's a lot of information. So these next ones, you're just going to hear Kadisha Lynn. You know what I'm saying? She definitely got the letters, the official letters that Cassie wrote, and then the letter that her mom wrote. This is going to be about 10 minutes of clips. She reads the letters in full to you. You know what I'm saying? So these are the full letters that she's going to be reading to you of what Cassie and her mom had wrote to the judge. Also, I didn't put on here, but the chef, the female chef named Jordan, she also wrote a letter. I can cover that tomorrow at some time, but that is definitely a whole nother lot of information, you know what I mean? But this is the 2 letters that Cassie and her mom wrote. She's gonna read them to you in full. You know what I'm saying? Check these clips out.
Ventura submits her victim statement against Diddy for sentencing. The government has just put in their motion for Diddy's sentencing hearing coming up next week, and they are asking for Diddy to get an 11-year prison sentence. And I'll get into that in a little bit, but right now let's go over these victim statements that were submitted by the prosecution against Diddy for sentencing. These letters are starting with Cassie Ventura. She says, I have been in a cycle of thought and then overthought writing this letter to you. If there's one thing that I learned from this experience, it's that victims and survivors will never be safe. Although I can hope for justice and accountability, I have come to not trust anything. I hope that your decision considers the truths at hand that the jury failed to see. For 4 days in May, while 9 months pregnant with my son, I testified in front of a packed courtroom about the most traumatic and horrifying chapter in my life. I testified that from age 19. Sean Combs used violence, threats, substances, and control over my career to trap me in over a decade of abuse. He groomed me into performing repeated acts with hired male workers during multiple day freak-offs, which occurred nearly weekly. I was forced into lingerie and heels, told exactly how to look, and was piled with illegal substances and alcohol so that he could control me like a puppet. These events were degrading and disgusting, leaving me with infections, illness, and days of physical and emotional exhaustion before he demanded it all again. Acts became my full-time job, used as the only way to stay in his good graces. I testified that I learned to read Sean Combs' signals, knowing that when he spoke of freak-offs, he was demanding them, and that refusing meant punishment, losing my car, my phone, or worse. He controlled every part of my livelihood and threatened to destroy my reputation by leaking tapes, a threat he repeated often. His power over me eroded my independence and sense of self until I felt like I had no choice but to submit. When he believed I had wronged him or I was not sufficient in my response, he also threatened people around me and those close to me, including my family. I worried that displeasing him meant putting my family and my friends' safety at risk. I testified beyond these threats. Sean Combs frequently used violence to get his way. Sean Combs frequently used violence to get his way. Over the nearly decade that we were together, Sean Combs would hit me, punch me, stomp on my face, pull my hair, and throw my body to the ground and against the wall. The jury saw the pictures of bruises on my back from Sean Combs kicking me, and saw the deep gash over my eye he caused when slamming me into the bed frame. The entire courtroom watched the actual footage of Sean Combs kicking and beating me as I tried to run away from a freak-off in 2016. People watched this footage dozens of times, seeing my body thrown to the ground, my hands over my head, curled up into fetal position to shield me from the worst blows. This violence caused bruises that my makeup artist, paid for by Sean Combs, would cover up, as well as permanent scars all over my body. During my time with Sean, I was in a constant state of hypervigilance, as I always anticipated demands for freak-offs, otherwise fearing retribution for any perceived slight. My descent into substance abuse was directly correlated with his increased control over my body, my money, my freedom, my free will. I used these substances to push through the horrifying acts that he demanded and to numb myself from the physical and emotional turmoil that I was constantly in. While the defense attorneys at trial suggested that my time with Combs was a great modern love story, nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing about this story is great, modern, or loving. This was a horrific decade of my life sustained by abuse, violence, forced physical acts, and degradation. I spent the last 7 years of my life slowly rebuilding myself, physically getting clean from substance abuse that Sean Combs forced and encouraged, mentally understanding how to live with a seemingly insurmountable level of trauma. The horrors of what I endured drove me to thoughts of unaliving, ones that I almost followed through on, if not for my family's intervention and urging me to seek professional care. I have been to rehab and I have taken part in dozens of types of therapy to comfort, compartmentalize, and cope with the horrific abuse that I endured for nearly 10 years. While what he did to me is always present, I am slowly learning how to live my life free of fear and horrors that I endured. And in doing so, I am fully devoted to my husband and my children. I still have nightmares and flashbacks on a regular, everyday basis and continue to require psychological care to cope with my past. My worries are that Sean Combs and his associates will come after me and my family, and it's my reality. I have in fact moved my family out of the New York area and am keeping as quiet as I possibly can because I'm so scared if he walks free, his actions will be swift retribution towards me and others who have spoke up about his abuse at trial. As much progress as I have made in recovering from his abuse, I remain very much afraid of what he is capable of and the malice he undoubtedly harbors towards me for having the bravery to tell the truth. The defense attorney claims that he is a changed man and he wants to mentor abusers. I know firsthand what real mentorship means, and this disgusts me. And he is not being truthful. I know who he was to me. The manipulator, the aggressor, the abuser, the trafficker is who he is as a human. He has no interest in changing or becoming better. He will always be the same cruel, power-hungry, manipulated man that he is. When I came out with my allegations in my civil case, he flatly denied them again and again. It was only after the actual video footage corroborated the exact words in my civil complaint that he used an apology on the internet. Thanks to the footage in my testimony, this is something that he will forever be associated with. For over a decade, Sean Combs made me feel powerless and unimportant, but my experience was real, horrific, and deserves to be considered. While the jury did not seem to understand or believe that I engaged in freak-offs because of force and coercion the defendant used against me, I know that that is the truth, and his sentence should reflect the reality of the evidence and my lived experience as a victim. Living in the detail of events and the truth described throughout the trial and this letter causes me tremendous amount of pain. I am trying with all of that, to move on. I hope your sentencing decision reflects the strength it took victims of Sean Combs to speak out. I hope that your decision considers the many lives that Sean Combs has upended with his abuse and control. I thank you for your time and attention. Cassie Ventura Fine. And Cassie Ventura's victim statement is not the only one against Diddy. We will get into the rest very soon, but y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Ventura's mom, Regina Ventura, has submitted a letter to the judge for Diddy's sentencing hearing. If you remember, during the trial, Cassie Ventura's mom testified against Diddy that she had to pay Diddy $20,000 not to leak a tape of Cassie. Cassie's mother and her father both write this letter to the judge. We are writing you as extremely concerned parents regarding the upcoming sentencing of the defendant referenced above. We have read many online reports that state that months are being suggested for his punishment/sentence as opposed to many years that we feel like he deserves. 11 years is the length of time this horrific nightmare lasted. During that time, our daughter was beaten repeatedly and exposed to harmful and copious amount of illegal substances. She was held like a prisoner, kidnapping by the defendant when her face told a story of a beating. She was coerced to perform freak-offs with strangers/male workers for the defendant's own gratification. None of these acts were consensual, as there is no consent in a domestic violence relationship. There was always threats of violence. Everything she did with, for, and because of the defendant was self-preservation. She was in actual fact brutalized by the defendant's power and depravity. Our daughter is dealing with psychological, emotional, as well as physical aftermath of the abuse that she endured at the hands of the defendant. She will be left to deal with the trauma of his abuse far beyond a 27-month prison sentence with time served, as suggested by the defense attorneys. We believe that the charges that the defendant was convicted of are not only federal crimes, but they are also a severe violation of human self-worth and freedom. Clearly, a vile abuse of power coupled with an immense disregard for human life. Sentenced lightly in this case that involves such vicious abuses of our daughter's body, safety, and dignity is dismissed to her very existence. Sentenced lightly would send a dangerous message. A sentence that is handed down in months instead of years sends a message that such repulsive behavior can happen without meaningful consequence. In closing, we, her parents, urge you to deliver a sentence that approximately reflects the severity and depravity of the abuse, the breach of trust, and the suffering that our daughter experienced. The justice system must be a place where the voices of those abused are heard, believed, and honored with appropriate accountability. Thank you for your time and consideration, Regina and Roderick Ventura. And this isn't all. We're going to get into the rest soon, so y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
That was the two clips, the two letters that Cassie and her mom, Regina Ventura, had wrote to the judge before the final conviction on Friday. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all the updates I have for you today. The two updates I have for you today. You know what I'm saying? In this episode 310, I just let you know, went back and let you know the new updates on the David case, the D4vd case with the body that was found in the Tesla. Also let you know new updates on Diddy. Diddy is back in court. Also let you know that his mom, that Cassie and her mama wrote letters to the judge before his final drop, for his final conviction on Friday. You know what I mean? They both wrote letters to the judge trying to tell them that he is not cool and he should not be released. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, now for the final and closing thoughts, just real quick. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, like, you feel me? Kons, final closing thoughts, you know what I'm saying, on these two topics, you feel me? So this dude David, you know what I mean? This dude David definitely, it's not looking good for him, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, we don't know yet. The autopsy has been deferred, you know what I'm saying? So now we just gotta wait on the results, you know what I mean? But it seemed like, and they said they have hit Tesla too, as far as the cameras go, wanting to see what's on the cameras. So I think it's just a matter of time before the truth come out, because Tesla's is equipped with a whole bunch of cameras. That is not the car that you want to do any type of dirt in, you know what I mean? Because you are being recorded for show, you know what I'm saying? According to the homie seeing that got Tesla, saying that you can take the hard drive out, or you can mark something, or you can go to your phone and delete some of the footage or something. But I'm trying to tell him, you know what I'm saying, with the government work, it don't matter whatever you mark. Just like on your phone, when the apps ask you, do you want us to track you or whatever for information, whatever, even though you say no, that don't mean that they not tracking you. You know what I'm saying? That was just them in a way let you know that we're gonna be tracking you. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to consent to it or no? We're gonna do it anyway though. But if you know what I'm saying, it's just like, you know what I mean, they give you the option, but how much power is that option? You know what I mean? You gotta ask yourself that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on. We just gotta wait on these results, you know what I'm saying? And wait to hear back from Tesla. They should definitely have something stored away as far as what those cameras recorded, whether he deleted it off his phone or no, you know what I'm saying? They should definitely still have a record somewhere, a database of something. If Google is keeping a database of everybody's keystroke of everything you ever typed in that box and searched for, then damn it, Tesla is definitely keeping a database of all their cars that are being recorded. for sure. You know what I'm saying? I think we could definitely feel safe in believing and saying that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So new footage is coming out, evidence, you know what I'm saying, of her arguing with the neighbors, her running away from something in the neighborhood. I don't know how much all that's going to play a factor in the case, you know what I mean? But hopefully they can get down to it. It's just a matter of time. Probably we'll be waiting about a week or two before we get the most serious updates with that, you know what I'm saying? Diddy is back in court, you know what I mean? Diddy is back in court, you know what I mean? His team has won that whole case, thrown out the two that he was convicted of out of the 3 or 4 cases that they was trying to convict him of. The 2 that got him, they trying to throw that out. But then Cassie and her mama wrote this long convincing letters, you know what I'm saying? Definitely try to convince that judge to drop the gavel and give him 11 years. You know what I'm saying? They want to give him 11 years. They feel like that's what he deserves. And they also was trying to convince the judge that he ain't changed none. You know what I'm saying? He just was doing the saying that because he got caught. Also, the public apology was just for the public because he got caught. That's pretty much what the letter was saying. You know what I'm saying? Cassie was putting them words to use in that letter for sure. Her and her mama. You know what I mean? They definitely don't want to see that man get out. You know what I'm saying? They even brought up the fact that how he was even advocating for some type of ambassador for domestic violence. Cassie was pretty much saying the nerve of you to even, and her mama said that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard it with the letters, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. This stuff is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Diddy is definitely finna be getting some clicks back for sure by using his name and putting that in these YouTube videos. So for upcoming YouTubers, definitely hashtag Diddy and Cassie Ventura in y'all hashtags when y'all put these videos out. I show him. You know what I'm saying? Because all the Diddy videos that I was doing was going up in the numbers. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep y'all updated on all this. You know what I'm saying? Definitely keep y'all updated on David Case. I told y'all I was going to update y'all on that today. Just like I told y'all I was going to keep y'all updated on this wicked world. You know what I mean? So please keep subscribed and let me be your neighborhood journalist. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for watching, though. Thank you for tuning in to Kons Podcast. You know what I mean? That's all I got for today. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have been doing anything you wanted to do in the world, no matter who you was. You know what I'm saying? You could have been a little brother, an older brother, a little sister, older sister, little cousin, a niece, a nephew. You could have been cousin Pete, cousin Nunu, cousin Pookie, cousin Mookie, cousin Man. And if y'all got pets right there and your pet is sitting there watching the podcast too, whether your pet is a dog, you have a pet cat, a pet hedgehog, you can have a pet goldfish, you can have a pet iguana, a pet bearded dragon, a pet turtle, you can have a pet dinosaur, whoever your pet is, you know what I'm saying? If they went there watching Kons Podcast with you, I definitely salute to him like you see the homie scrolling up the screen, giving you that good salute. You know what I'm saying? Today was packed with a whole bunch of information and clips. I hope you enjoyed it all. You know what I mean? I'll definitely see y'all tomorrow. I'll be updating you on this wicked world some more all throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? This beat you hear creeping up in the background was made by none other than Infectious, a Beat Collector Beats, a West Coast Killer Beast. You know what I'm saying? Let him talk to you in the background while you see these last little comments, and I'm gonna let you know how independent this channel is in the credits also by letting you know all episodes is written, produced, edited, recorded, you know what I'm saying, lighting, you know what I mean, putting the light up, everything is done by Kons, you know what I'm saying, CEO of Kons Podcast, you know what I mean. Stay tuned, I'll see y'all tomorrow though, you know what I mean. Stay tuned to Kons Podcast. Tell your friends about it, share this.
Don't you? don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that?